Hello, this video is going to be about the playable Flute, Lute, and Drum mod for Skyrim Special Edition and showing how it works. So first of all, credits to Drain64 on Nexus Mods for creating the original version of this mod, which I ported to work in Special Edition and also made a bunch of improvements too. So as the name of the mod would suggest, this mod allows you to play the instruments that you can find in Skyrim. And by play, I mean you can actually play different notes. For example, on the flute, you can press one key and it'll play one note. You can press a different key and it'll play a different note. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Here are the requirements for the mod. It's a special edition mod, and it requires Skyrim script extender. Now, optionally, if you have SkyUI installed as well, you can use the mod configuration menu, or MCM, to configure some of the keybinds for the playable Flute, Lute, and Drum mod, but that is not mandatory. You can still use it without SkyUI. So the mod actually adds new items that are playable versions of the existing instruments. So if you just pick up any old flute that you find in Skyrim, you won't actually be able to play it right off the bat. There's two ways you can acquire the playable version. So the first way is you can find them in the world. There is one location where they are at, and it is right here in the Bard's College. I'm just going to take these, and I'm going to show you that they are in your inventory, and they're considered weapons. Now, why are they considered weapons? Because that was done so that you can equip them without it complaining that you can't equip the item. That also lets you tell them apart from the vanilla version, which will show in your MISC tab in your inventory. The second way you can acquire the playable versions of the items is you can craft them using the vanilla versions of the items at any forge. So here I am at the forge in Solitude, and first of all, if I look in my inventory, I will see that I have, in the MISC section, I have gotten myself a flute and also a lute and a drum, or somewhere in here. So I just go to the forge, and here it shows all the stuff I can craft right now, and right at the top I see these three items that I can craft. So this will give me the playable version of the lute. So I found myself a nice tavern here. It's pretty quiet. Let's play some music to liven things up. So first I'll show you the drum. So the drum, you just equip it like a normal weapon. Now you'll be in this animation, and you just press space to exit the animation. So the drum is the simplest of the three instruments in this mod. There's one thing you can do with it, and that is you can play the vanilla Bard drum music. There's three different sound files that are used in the vanilla games, so you can press and hold 1, 2, or 3 on your keyboard. So here I am pressing 1. And here I am pressing 3. Now again, when I'm done, just press space and it unequips. Now onto the lute. So here is the lute. Like the drum, you can just press 1, 2, 3, or 4, I think, and it'll play one of the tunes from the game. Now, the thing you can do with the lute, though, is you can also play chords. So, for example, if I press A, that plays an A major chord. If I press C, that's a C major chord. If I want to play A sharp, I can hold the up arrow on my keyboard while I press A, and I can make it minor by holding left. Now, unfortunately, there are only a handful of chords. There's not all 12 major and all 12 minor chords. The sound files for all of them were not in the original mod, but the chords that are present should be enough to play along with most, if not all, of the Bard songs like Ragnar the Red or The Dragonborn Comes. So now, on to the flute. So, like the other two, you can press the number keys to play some different tunes. There's actually 6 of them for the flute. And then you can also play some notes. So I'm pressing some keys on my keyboard. I'll talk about the key bindings for the flute a little bit later. By default, there's only a handful of notes you can play on the flute, but you can change the settings to enable more of them if you have mod configuration menu. But yeah, I can play different notes and then press space when I am done. Now I'm going to get into the mod configuration menu. So there are 2 different kind of default presets for the flute. So this is the one that was set by default, but you can also do load default number 2, which will do something that looks more like this. Yep, so that is pretty much it for the mod. And if you do end up playing it, please be sure to leave any suggestions or bug reports on the Nexus page, and hope you enjoy.